What up, bosses? Your man MBR. Going to bring you some Ruh Kaan gameplay today. He's one of the newest champions to hit Battlerite along with Jamong in patch 0.8. I think he's a lot of fun to play. He's basically like a melee assassin who jumps on you and has a good amount of sustain through his build. So before we jump into game, we'll have a quick rundown of his abilities. You can see here, look at him. He just looks, man, he looks so cool. Also, he has some beastie new weapons. So we do have the Halloween weapon, which unfortunately I don't actually have. His standard weapon is just like a little bone. I was able to pick up a little cool one in the chest. I think his legendary ones are pretty damn dope, with the Cursed Reaper and the Blind Reaper. He reminds me of the Grim Reaper, that's why I always kind of look at him. So his abilities, we have a standard auto attack, which after 8 seconds basically charges up, and as in game you'll see the little green circle. When that's charged and you attack your foe, it applies curse. You want to be careful that by swinging and missing, so if you miss your attack or you just accidentally click it, it will use up that charge. So you want to keep that in mind. But when you do hit your target, it deals bonus damage and also heals you. So what you can do, which is really nice, is you can do that and then you use your Q, which is your consume, which basically negates any incoming damage, and it then resets your cursed ability and also your shadow bolt, which is really nice. So you want to kind of make good use of that combo if possible. Go in, attack, then block, and attack again, and you'll do some nice damage and also healing yourself up, which is always good. Shadow Bolt, which is long range projectile, it does 30 damage, which is huge. It feels like, it says it only takes 1 second, but it feels a bit longer than that. But really nice for when you starting off the battle and you want to try and poke down your foes, or even if you're low and you're trying to hover around the outside. We have a spacebar, which is good engage. He basically dashes to the target, dealing 16 damage. You can get a talent at level 1, which I normally take, which allows you to cast that twice, which is really cool. We then have his E, which is Cross Wicked. It's basically a hook like your Blitzcrank, but with much shorter cooldown, a 7-second cooldown in fact, and that also heals you for 10 health, which is pretty huge. You can use it on middle orb to pull that away from your foes, which is always cool, and it also heals you. So you want to keep that in mind. We have his R, which basically is a warp, and that also applies curse to a target, good for engaging and also disengaging. And his ultimate, basically he transforms into this big ass shadow beast. He's like a little shapeshifter. He looks so cool when he does it. It lasts for 5 seconds, so you want to kind of use it wisely, as if you get caught around a corner next to you, your ultimate's timed out. But basically your curse from your auto attacks is constantly proccing, and your right mouse button becomes your E. You can't use any other abilities, but you can keep pulling them in towards you and you do some nice damage, and also healing you up, which is really cool. So if you get it right, his ultimate can be deadly, but if you mess it up, before you know it, your ultimate will be gone. His X-shift abilities, I really enjoy. His spacebar basically twirls around in a circle, looking absolutely badass, but he deals some nice damage and also consuming health, or leeching health, should I say, from his opponent. And then his E, instead of pulling a target or pulling a foe, he pulls his ally into safety, pulls them out of danger, maybe even trolls them, who knows, but it does heal them for 24 health, which is pretty big. So there we go. So with that being said, we'll jump into a game. Alright then guys, we'll see what we can get up to. Coming into this, it's like a little lottery. Who are we going to get? Are we ready to close the spacebar? We're actually on the new map as well, which is really cool. It looks like we're actually going to be paired up with a Pearl. How about that? I think Pearl's a really strong champion at the moment. They have a Pearl, she has 10%, so that makes 20% additional XP we're going to get, which is pretty sweet, as I haven't actually maximised this guy to level 10 yet. And she's going to be partnering up with Shifu, so this should be quite interesting. Pearl v Pearl, we are really going to probably want to focus on Shifu. I generally say you want to go for the support, but Pearl with her dash, or the dive, and then the counterplay and her bubbles is just so annoying. So starting off, I really like to go for Dominic Hunt. It gives me 2 charges on my spacebar. Generally you just have the 1, with this you gain 2. Here's the little circle I was talking about. So you want to, when it's green, that's when you can do your curse attack, but you don't want to auto attack mid-air. If I auto attack when it is green, you will waste it if you hit a target or don't hit it. So you want to be watching out for that. We can use our spacebar or our right mouse button for the range, but we want to be careful for Shifu's counters. That's basically what we were trying to play out at the moment, and we'll see how it goes. We dive in on him. I don't want to block it just yet. We did actually waste my Q then. Basically what I should have done is you should auto attack then Q, which I said earlier, which I didn't actually do then, and that was a bit of a fail on my behalf. One cool thing you can do is you can actually, mid's gone, you can actually use your E on middle, 1 to heal yourself, and 2 to actually, you know, potentially pull it away from opponents. So here we done our combo nicely. Unfortunately, they didn't actually proc it, but that was actually really nice. The problem, I kind of panicked before. I didn't want to prop Shifu's counter like that because he's going to go more and it's just a freaking pain in the ass. But we're looking pretty good. We can actually go in ultimate form now. So when I use my right mouse button, basically what it does is it pulls them, but because he's bringing Pearl's bubbles, unfortunately we don't actually necessarily do too much with it then, but we're looking in good. Looking all good anyway. So what the idea is, well, we're trying to proc it, but unfortunately she's not attacking me as she obviously going for Pearl, which is the smarter option, of course. It means that we're just not getting that reset. The reset is not the end of the world, but like it's not really necessarily the end of the world at the moment. But the thing is, if by missing that Q or mistiming it, or them not, like, for example, not proccing it, one, I don't actually going to neglect any incoming damage for 7 seconds, so I could be punished for that. And also it does a nice amount of damage being able to get that green bar again, and with the heal. One of my favourite abilities of him is this little spin to win ability. We're just kind of really, like, could be doing a bit more ham on her. But 2v1s, this is what I mean. Pearl's just like, we could like be playing a little bit better and not so sloppy. But Pearl's just generally such a annoying champion, and she's probably should be dead if the E1 throws her out the arena now. See you later, sucker. Yeah, loser. Nicely done. GG. So what I was talking about there, we didn't really make the most use as I liked out of my Q. So we want to go in, we attack when this is green, we get the proc, and then we Q, and then hopefully if they attack it we can do it again, which does a lot of damage. But it didn't really, but again, like I say, you can be punished for not correctly using it, just purely because you could take a big heavy hit from something and you can't actually block the incoming damage. But there we just kind of wrecked so hard it wasn't really an issue. We did use my ultimate, but again, we didn't rate too much because Shifu was pretty low and Pearl put a nice bubble down. So really you want to use your C for the poke. You can cancel it mid-cast, so we can cancel it there if we feel like we're not going to hit anything from it. It doesn't actually proc a counter as well, which is nice, and it's just a good way of poking down them. But the one thing I always watch with Shifu is when I go in is just watching for his counter because it's so freaking annoying. But you see the curse, if we try to use my Q, fortunately we do actually mistime it once again, and or it's a wow read by him or it's a misplay by me. But we do pick up middle wall, which is nice. We do miss the Shadow Bolt. The Shadow Bolt does some hefty damage. Again, we try and make the Q. No, it fucking broke it! God damn it! That's so annoying. We'll secure this top health, but we're looking pretty good here. Shifu's running a little bit low. He's going to get thrown out here, and we can actually put the proc. We did actually proc his counter then. Again, they're just not hitting me. They're just not hitting me. Alright, we're going to come out here. We're actually going to go straight into my ultimate as we come out. And again, we can use the pool there, which is really nice. And then we can hit the green. So you can see in my actual, when we're in my ultimate form, that green ability is actually procced all the time, which is, I didn't actually realise when I first started playing that was the case. I didn't think his ultimate was all that strong, but the fact that it is just constantly procced all the time is pretty huge. We see, oh, we were actually going to go pull the middle orb then to try and be sneaky, but she did actually secure it for herself. I think this time she actually did proc my Q then, which is nice, and it's just a case of finally killing Pearl, which she doesn't really stand much of a chance in this situation. She can be a little bit annoying landing her ultimates. Again, so my R, which we haven't actually needed to make any use of, is a little teleport, which is pretty cool. We're going to hit, we'll pull it back in. We'll pull it back in. We did actually miss it. But nicely done. We're looking really good here. Our comp's just working a bit stronger than theirs. They're just not really doing any damage to me. Pearl's trying to heal up her Shifu. He's just taken such a pounding early on, and I'm not really needing heals. As I can say, he has quite a nice sustain through his auto attack when you actually have the Curse of Pride, along with his E, 10 health, and then we haven't actually really made much use out of my shift spacebar ability, but at the same time it's really nice. So we've gone there for the root. I quite like it, so I've kind of gone for the E build. Basically by landing my claw reduces the cooldown, so it's 7 seconds, reduces it to 4 seconds if you land it, and now it also applies a root, which is pretty damn cool. So we may as well just probably get bit aggressive, make nice use out of that. We use my proc, we actually do proc it this time, so he hasn't actually used his counter, and now he uses it. And that was what I was kind of waiting on before. Like I say, it's just really a mind game on when they do use it. Get a nice shadow bot there. We do actually miss my hook. Middle orb is up. We can use the spacebar to get in, and GG, a nice pickup. Nice grab on the Pearl. And we may, well, we're kind of switching my focus at the moment. We could stick on the Pearl, she's running quite low now, that's the question. But I just find she's just so freaking annoying to attack. I'm going to use my consume, but actually don't get anything off of it. And we have my ultimate once again, and we can go in there and start putting some nice damage. Wow, that's the most damage I've actually seen out come off my ultimate before. I really wasn't too sure about it before, but dearie me, that was some hefty damage. And yeah, nicely done. Our Pearl's been pretty on point, to really honest, and Shifu's just not been able to make anything happen here, because we are missing all my final skill shots. Oh, we're gonna, can we time it? Can we time it? Oh, we can't time it. I hope, maybe we did. 50-50. We'll pretend we did. So GG, a really nice game. And that is exactly why I think Ruh Kaan is super damn strong. He has great sustain. Obviously Pearl played a massive part in there, bringing out some big damage. The damage she was putting out, I just can't believe how much damage Pearl does. It's crazy. I think generally Ruh Kaan's kit is super strong and he's a lot of fun to play. So I hope you bosses enjoyed. If there's any particular champions you want to cover, I'm planning on doing like an A to Z where we go through every champion. I want to work on some like short of guides, actually going into stuff in more detail. But nonetheless, take it easy and have a great day. Peace.